I think, like everybody in the world, I think we all have a baseline of curiosity.
Mm.
I think, though, I was naturally an artist. I grew up painting and drawing. So from the time I don't know, from the time I can remember, I was always drawing and sketching and painting. So I think that has trained my eyes to pay attention to details and to care about details in a way that, makes me think and makes me feel a way and makes me experience emotion. Um, because I remember as a kid, if the line wasn't curved exactly the way I wanted it to be curved, I would erase it and I would perfect it and perfect it and perfect it. And there's some beauty to that, that is not, OCD or anything like that. It's just really trying to strive for the best something can be. So I think I've kind of trained my eye
Mm.
to do that, and yeah, man, I just think over the years I've gotten more clear and more clear and more clear about how those talents, how those gifts are meant to serve the calling in my life.
Mm.
So like the other day I had dinner with a friend, and we met another friend, and the friend said to me, I think part of my calling in the world is to help bring people to a higher space of consciousness and
Mm.
bring them into a space where they can believe in their dreams and do that. And I thought that really resonates with me. That it just like felt, yes, this is right.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, I've become more curious about that, and I'm still learning about how that gift actually operates and how my
Mm.
talents will serve that calling. But I do feel like I'm getting clearer. I'm getting a glimpse, getting a glimpse about how that curiosity is supposed to serve me, and how it's supposed to make a difference.
Yeah. I had a friend, and we were both working in education for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and she was one of my favorite people to talk to generally, but we would often get into quite intensive discussions about what we thought was useful for young people. And I always felt like if kids walked out of the classroom and they were curious, that was a
Mm-hmm.
win. Like if they went away saying, what was it about that was interesting, or how can I dig a bit further into this thing, or I want to now learn about X, Y, and Z, or I wonder what we're gonna do this next time, and maybe what can I bring to the discussion, or whatever it is. Like as long as they were thinking about how they can dig a bit deeper into whatever we talked about, that
Mm-hmm.
would be a victory.
Totally.
And she might have said, I don't know, self-efficacy, whatever. I don't know, some modern term, grit, or whatever they're talking about in education these days. But it's so important, and yeah, kids are already kind of doing that anyways. And
Man, let me tell you, I was a naughty kid, man. I was very naughty, very very naughty. I was a badass kid. You know what? My family always brings it up every now and then, especially my family here in the UK. They're like, "Yeah, you were such a rowdy kid, naughty, as they say, very naughty."
yeah,
But
they
I
like that
and I
word. Yeah.
was I think it was just this innate curiosity, this innate desire to challenge, and to say I don't accept that because you are an adult and you tell me that that's what it is. Why can't it be blue and you tell me it's black? Why can't it be purple and you tell me it's orange? So I was always that kid that was challenging, but I think I
Mm.
was naturally just curious, and I needed to explore and ask questions. And I think when that was finally met, those questions were finally met with the attention of an adult who said, "You know what? You've got something. There's questions there that make sense,
Yeah.
and I don't have the answer, and maybe we won't have the answer,
Yeah.
but the question can still be asked and not be met with ridicule."
Mm.
So I think that more kids need, if what kids need today. I think more kids need like just like approval. They just need approval
Yes.
of who they are. They just need to they just need to be reminded that they
Mm.
matter, their questions matter, their voices matter, and that adults don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And I think also that there's like a bit there where um, it takes so little to get a kid excited. if you just have a little bit of like excitement about something that they ask or something that they do well, you know, like you just give them a little
Oh
pat
yeah.
on the back and they get so excited,
Oh yeah.
so excited,
Yes.
and it's so
Yes.
sad because it doesn't happen. So many people don't do that to their kids.
Oh yeah.
They're,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
My sister-in-law used to get like really excited when they were teaching my nephews how to go to the toilet. Like, she'd freak out like, "We're gonna go to the fucking toilet, let's go!" And, like really excited, yay, fun! And then like
Poop time.
the kids would be like, "Yeah!" And they run to the toilet and like bring a book or whatever, you know. And yeah, it's true, man. Just,
So rewarding.
do you have these like moments when you were younger that you remember of like critical learning moments, or like you said that there was that adult that said, you know what, actually Laz,
Yeah.
that's a fucking great question, or like
Yeah.
did you have any of these moments that were kind of like turning points?
I had a couple of moments that were turning points for me. I mean, one when I was super young, I remember I was painting this caterpillar from the book, the caterpillar. Oh God, what's that? The name of
Yes,
that
I
book?
know.
The little hungry
The Little
caterpillar.
Hungry Caterpillar, right?
Yeah.
So I painted this caterpillar, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought I was redrawing the cover, and I remember spending so much time on it, and one of the teachers noticed that I was like in the corner of the room and I was painting this, and she was just like, "Oh my God!" She's like, "That is amazing,"
Mm.
and I remember just kind of saying like, "Really, it is? You know, is it amazing?" And then she called all the other teachers from the other classrooms to come and see this painting. And then, of course, all the students were like watching now, and all eyes were on me and on this caterpillar. But I think that moment for me, it awakened something that was like so positive, and I really remember that as being a turning point for me where I thought, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe there's something here that I could express through art, through painting. People are experiencing something through this. And as a kid, I didn't really understand how to connect that, but I do remember now as an adult that moment did something for me. Another moment was,
And just something
yeah.
that I think it's interesting though, because and this is something that maybe Nathan doesn't know, so I'll ask. Strangely enough, you didn't pursue arts when you went to study, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't do art. But the other moment was, the other moment was I did ballroom dancing in the 5th grade. And
It's a good school you went to.
it was alright. It was alright. It was a good school. No, it was actually a really good school. And my mother fought to get me and my family in that school because we lived in a different zone. And so if you didn't live in that zone of the school, you weren't allowed to go. So anyway, my mother fought. She's a fighter. Love you, Mom. And she got us in. But we did ballroom dancing as a 5th grader. And that was the moment where, for me, things started to really change.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, I excelled at art, but I was always I was so naughty, in the words of my family in London. So the teacher there, she realized that, okay, you're really good at dancing, you're really good at ballroom dancing. If I can create a system where you can dance, you'll also do your homework, and there's some benefit here where you get to stay after school, you might get free pizza. So she really tried to kind of like figure out how to relate to me. I mean, went out of her way to make sure I was getting the extra help. I was getting tutored if I needed it. She would even bring me to her home, me and my sister, to her home after school. We would do homework. She would feed me some salad and play some good music. And, her house was gorgeous. So I think early exposure to all of that, I mean, it really shifted everything. That teacher's name is Mrs. Mincer.
Mrs. Mincer.
Mrs. Mincer.
Wow.
We still keep in touch.
What a nun.
Oh,
like
totally.
An absolute saint.
I mean, she was a rebel. I mean, she really stirred things up. She just had a gift.
Could you do that now? Could you take a kid and like take him home to your house if you were a teacher and like feed him and play music?
Maybe
for
if they're
him?
like your niece or nephew, but no, I don't think
It's amazing. What do you
sad,
what do you yeah, well,
in some situations.
yeah. What do
I
you
guess,
what do you
but-
think how did that what happened for you with that
Oh
experience?
man, I felt seen, heard, understood.
Hmm.
by an adult who only wanted to see me succeed.